Hello, friends. Welcome to reading. This is Wednesday, November 10th. We are doing a reading, and what we're going to do today is we've read a little bit of our story. Our story is called The Boy and the Dyke, and so we're going to finish reading it today. But I know Rylan couldn't be with us to read the story because she was out last week, and then we had this interruption. So I thought it might be fun today if instead of going straight to the worksheet, if we came back and make sure we read the whole story again. So we're going to start the story and we'll read it start to finish so that you have it. And if you ever need to look back in the story to answer some of the questions on the papers coming up, you'll have it right here. We'll read it together. Okay, so let me pull that up. Share my screen. There it is. And here we go. So first of all, let's turn it right side up. And we'll come all the way to the top. Here we go. We talked about Holland because our character in this story is from Holland area. And that was a neat video, wasn't it, when we did the video on the Netherlands last week. I don't know what we'll do this week. I think we were talking about doing one. I can't remember. We did talk about one. Yeah, I tell you what, if you can remember, have Mom text me before Friday and let me know the one that we had talked about in class, because I remember we were talking about one, but I couldn't remember which it is. And if you can remember, we'll pull that up and we'll do that for our Friday video this week. Okay, so there was Holland. Here is the boy in the dike. We're just going to start the story all over. And here we go. Ready? The Boy and the Dyke. Fiction adapted by Karen Wilt. Illustrated by Linda Slattery. Now, fiction is a story, if you know your difference between fiction and nonfiction. Fiction is a story that's not really true, but it's fun to read about. It's usually to be entertaining. And illustrated means this is the person who drew the pictures. So this Linda Slattery is the one who drew the pictures. This one was written by Karen Wilt. Okay. So all right. A tale is told about a boy named Jan who lived in Holland. His family lived on a small farm along the high-walled dikes. Jan often walked down the gravel road along the dike. The road led to his grandmother's house, but her house was a long walk away. Jan called his grandmother Oma, as all good Dutch children do, and she told him long tales, as all good Dutch grandmothers do. Her tales were about brave and strong Dutchmen and the deeds they had done. And they were about the dikes that kept the sea from flooding the farms. Jan loved to listen to Oma's stories, and he went to visit her often. One day, Mother wrapped up a loaf of fresh brown bread for Jan to give to Oma. Soon, Jan was on his way. "You may stay overnight if Oma asks you to," Mother called. Jan skipped happily along the road. His wooden shoes clicked and clacked on the gravel. He stamped along beside the dike while the waves smashed and crashed on the other side. Jan splashed through a puddle of water. Then he stopped. It had not rained today. Where could the water have come from? Then he saw a small trickle of water coming from the dike. He looked at the tall, thick dike. A small hole had begun to grow, and the water was coming through it. Oh no, Jan cried. He knew the little trickle would soon become a flood. Hmm. Jan stuck a stick in the hole. The water pushed it out. Then he stuck a rock in the hole. The water pushed that out too. He could tell the hole was growing quickly. Jan put his finger in the stream of water. Ever so slowly, it stopped. Jan looked across the field. No houses were in sight. He looked down the road. No cart rumbled along this late in the day. In fact, the sun had begun to set. Help! Jan called. Ooh, I want to point one thing out here. Teachable moment, teachable moment. Let me show you something here. Okay. I'm going to pull your attention to this one right here. We've been talking about these in English. This is a full sentence. It's called a command. A command has a subject and a predicate. All sentences do. But the predicate is help. That's what this person is wanting you to do. But what is the subject in a command? Who is supposed to help? It's always the same person. You, in a command, you is the subject. Let me write that down. In a command, you is the subject. You are the one that's supposed to do it. You are supposed to help. You are supposed to close the door. Okay? And it's got one of those exclamation marks. That means he really means it. This isn't just something he's just standing around for fun. He seriously needs help. He's been standing there and he's tired. Help! He called. Well, I'm gonna try something a little different here. Pull a light color in. See if that makes it easier. No one heard him, and Jan did not dare leave. The hole would grow, and seawater would flood all the land for miles. He could never run quickly enough to get help. Jan leaned against the dike and waited. The sun set. Above him, the stars came out, and the moon lit up the fields. Hours passed. No one came near. Jan nibbled on Oma's bread. He remembered the stories he had told about strong men. They had carried huge rocks to make the dikes strong. They had built the dikes to protect the land. hoping that would work, but I don't. Doesn't look like it's going to. Got a highlighter feature on this, but it doesn't look like it's going to work like it should. Okay. Those strong men had battled with the sea. Now Jan would fight too. His finger felt as cold as ice, but he would not let the sea win the battle. At last the long night ended. The sky grew lighter and lighter. A horse pulling a little milk cart rumbled down the road. "Help!" Jan cried. The milkman and his son stopped their cart and came running. "What's wrong?" they asked. What is wrong? What is wrong with Jan? How do you think he feels? He's been standing there all night holding his finger in the dike. It's a long time. Do you think you could do that? Hold your finger in there all night? Let's see. "There is a hole in the dike," Jan exclaimed. "Quick, get the men in the village." The milkman hurried off, leaving his son to help Jan. While he was gone, Jan and the milkman's son waited. They heard the birds wake up and start their singing. They saw the top of the sun peep over the edge of the fields far away. Then Oma rode up in her rickety goat cart. The milkman had stopped to give her the news first. She had a soft, warm blanket to wrap around Jan. At last the Dutchman of the village came running to fix the dike. Jan's father and mother and his brothers and sisters came too. Jan sat close beside Oma as they rode home. His eyes drooped with sleep. "Jan," she whispered, "now I have a new tale to tell about a brave Dutch boy and the dikes of Holland." Very good, huh? Nice story. Nice story. I liked it. Did you like it? What was your favorite part? I liked it. It's since started raining out here in Middleburg. I wonder if it's raining at your house today. Next page. Let's go down to here because I know you know what to do. I want you to take one of the pieces of paper that I gave you. Oh, you know what? Let me skip on this because it is on a worksheet over here. Here's what I want you to do right here. Take one of those pieces of paper and I want you to write your vocabulary words down. They're right here. See these words? Don't worry about the questions because I've got a sheet over here that will answer these, that we'll use tomorrow to answer these questions. But right here, these words right here, I want you to write those on a piece of paper because vocabulary is very important. Vocabulary means words from the story or from the reading that are important that you need to remember. So the first one is flood, and that's spelled F-L-O-O-D, flood. And the next word is gravel, G-R-A-V-E-L, gravel. Next word is rumbled, R-U-M-B-L-E-D, rumbled. Next word is village, V-I-L-L-A-G-E. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for today. Write down your vocabulary words. You don't need to worry about the questions. We'll do those later. I'll see you soon for spelling. Have a good day.